Just how advanced is Necron technology? We have crazy examples like the celestial orrery, and in this video we are going to examine how the Necrons travel around the galaxy, not on ships, take that out of your brain, but riding beams of light or through wormholes. And we show how this technology is also used within the machines they deploy during warfare, so multiple applications for most of these. So friends, let's find out, and welcome to another 40k video. So let's start with Dolmen gates. I came across them in the latest Prior Nexus Crusade book, and that's what led to this video. These gates allow the Necrons to punch holes in the webway and pass through and hijack what the old ones made. The history of the gates is in the closing years of the War in Heaven. The tides began to shift when the Necrons finally gained access to the webway. The Satan, known as Niadra, the Burning One, had long desired to carry his eldritch fires into that space, beyond space, and so showed the Necrons how to breach its boundaries and its worth, noting also that the webway can feel the Dolmen's invasion and sometimes seals off the Necrons' access, so when that door's open, better get yourself through it. And in 40, they will still exist, but only on a small scale. Next up are Inertialess drives. These let the Necrons hand-wave away those pesky laws of physics to gain faster-than-light travel. We see in the lore they can be used to outrun the destruction of a planet, and when facing the mighty ships of the Emperor's Imperium, the Necron ships exhibit sudden unearthly acceleration no human ship could even have hoped to match, and they, in that same instant, lead the scanners of the Imperium, who are left in the dirt. So how could these things work? To me it's simple, and I think it's from reading a lot of science fiction, and I also think that this idea fits in with the Necrons overall. They hack into and change some of the laws of physics so that they are not bound by them. This reduces the ship's mass and thus inertia, and its go-go gadget Necron ships. Next up we have phase shifters. Now with these, a Necron can create shortcuts through time and space, Necron fast travel. They do these by having a stroll through other spatial dimensions, shortening their journey, similar to wormholes in that respect. We see this used by varying Necron units in Canoptic Wraiths, for example. They have a dimensional destabilization matrix, a phase shifter that allows it to skip in and out of reality. It can even adjust the modulation of the matrix in order to keep sections of it form in different states, whilst a completely phased out state can be sustained almost indefinitely. A half-phase state takes a great deal of energy to sustain. Indeed, the Wraith's body is little more than a series of interlocking power generators and Ethereum load conduits, and even so it can exist in dual states, but only for limited amounts of time. We also see the flayed ones come in and out of pocket dimensions. They can appear at any time when the carnage of battle draws them to feast. We have death marks, Necron snipers. They can sit in a hyperspace oubliette, a pocket dimension, riding the gap between then and now, waiting till they find their mark and take their shot. And tomb blades, which carry nebuloscopes, which allow them to trace m-dimensional paths, along which they can fire upon their target. So through these examples of technology, we see their mastery of dimensions. But dimensions are linked with time, and the Necrons have that covered as well. When Tolok, the Blinded, loses his sight, he's fitted with chronomantic systems. He now views the world through a shifting veil of temporal energy fields and twisting skein of dimensional membranes, and can transmit his visions to the Necrons around him. The best known manipulator of time to me is Oricon, one of the stars of the Wicked and the Divine, a very good Black Library novel. So one of the things that he can do, for example, he can go back in his own timeline if he messes up and change things to meet his goals. Another good one is the Chronometron. That allows the Necrons to act out of phase with the normal time flow, advancing normally while their opponents move in slow motion, allow the Necrons to seriously kick their asses. So they have mastered time and dimensions, and these ideas are brought together in one of their most famous bits of Necron technology, the Tesseracts. They're used to store the Catan shards. As the vaults fall together, the Necrons' mastery of both temporal and spatial dimensions, so you can't get out. no matter how much you shake the bars. Now let's turn our eyes to Eternity Gates. To define these, they are wormholes, which, if you don't know, create corridors between locations, and this can be across galactic distances. Imagine walking out of your front door, and instead of being on the street where you should be, it's a direct connection to another location. Straight to the bar it would be for me. So we take a monolith, which contains inside it an Eternity Gate. This shimmering energy field is nothing less than a captive wormhole bound into the very heart of the monolith. With a simple mental command, the monolith's crew can transform the Eternity Gate into a portal of exile, and those that fail to resist its pull are sucked in out of reality entirely, banished forever to a temporal prison from which there can be no escape. Alternatively, the monolith's crew can use the Eternity Gate as a form of dimensional corridor, pulling squads of Necrons from elsewhere on the battlefield, orbiting starships or even far distant tomb worlds. They are deployed to the monolith's location, offering instant support for any Necron in trouble. Now we look at another technology type. When using translocation beams, the beings in that beam are converted to this form of energy during transportation, so the armies can move from one system to another at the speed of light. Now there's a little more to it than that. This technology was created when to create something to please their pharaoh, the cryptex of the Nephrec-crafted Sylphec, a skin of living meta gold that can turn to pure light through advanced hyper-alchemical processes. The pharaoh has since seen himself as a celestial deity, giving himself a big head. The golden form is a gift Sylphec has since kindly shared with his trusted servants. The dynasty's high-ranking overlords can be temporarily transformed into living light, while even the lowest Nephrec warriors can activate traces of metagold within their metal bodies in order to shift and stutter across open ground at frightening speed. And now we move on to the Veil of Darkness, and the last one we'll be looking at today. This device was fashioned from transpositanium, a substance so rare that it can only be found in a handful of places in the galaxy. It is highly sought after by the Necrons, and wars have been waged to secure it. Activated with a thought, the veil causes space and time to warp around its user and those near them, enfolding them in a swirling darkness. As the darkness fades, the user and their comrades appear elsewhere on the battlefield, transported to a miracle of arcane science. And on that note, I'll dive into the depths of Necron technology ends. I like how there is a consistency to their technology. Though some skates that line of technology is so advanced that it appears to be magic, the consistency to me comes from them manipulating the elements of the galaxy in order to fight or travel, such as capturing a wormhole, to transport enemies away and converting their bodies into beams of light, or creating/finding substances that let them hide themselves, whether locating it or inventing it. What do you think? Any cool examples I could have added? Are you familiar with Necron technology or the lore? The Twice Dead King, duology, and the Infinite and the Divine are worth checking out. That's what got me into it pretty recently. So comment down below and let me know.